All right, everybody, we have Nathan Hengen here today. He's the author of Beyond Blogging, and you can check out his site at nathanhengen.com. Nathan, I checked out your book, Beyond Blogging. Great book. And my question to you is not about the book, but rather, how did you reach out and get all of the people to contribute to your book and meet with you? How do you really connect with people? You got Chris Brogan, Jonathan Fields, Brian Clark, Pete Cashmore. I mean, the list goes on. How do you really connect, and how did you do it? And what would you say as advice to someone that's looking to, connect with the big influencers and connect with the right people?
Well, I think the first step is just to realize that the people who are the big influencers now are, they were just like us, you and I, years ago. So they put their pants on the same way we do. And so I think the first thing is to just not be afraid of talking to them. So for me, it started out with emails. Chris Guillebeau, I emailed him quite often when I found his blog, and he was always responding back. I sent in guest posts to a lot of these people, and I think the main thing is just be confident in what you can offer, and just go after people, and not be afraid to see what they say.
Cool. Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I think face-to-face interaction is important too, but we can talk about that in a minute if we get there.
Yeah. I mean, I find in my life, it's like if you're out on Twitter and Facebook and all these different things where their channels are, or even writing on their blog, I mean, it's all kind of noise, right? And so how do you take it a step further? And Twitter's like a doorway to me. Twitter's like the doorway, and taking it offline and taking it past that relationship and how you really know someone in my life has been the key to it, and like enabling them to know that they're doing good work and that you appreciate what they're doing. And I tried to not walk in the door asking, right? Don't walk in the door asking something. Work on building a real relationship. And I do a lot of career stuff, and I find exactly what you just said. Like, how do you build a relationship with someone that's at the company before you have to walk down and knock on the HR door, right? It's like,
that's a great point. I mean, for me, obviously Twitter is, like you said, it's a bunch of noise, and people might know you on Twitter. They might reply to you, but it doesn't mean they're open to hanging out, talking on a blog or whatever. Email. So I think for me, it's just about, like you said, not being about yourself, not being about, hey, the first email I'm going to send you is, here's what I'd really like you to do for me. It's about, I really like what you're doing. I think you're impacting me in this way. Keep it up. And for me, that's my strategy. And it's not really a strategy. It's just the way it is. I go after people that inspire me. And so I tell them straight up, I find a contact page. I say, hey, you really inspire me. This is what I'm doing, but what you're doing really, really gets to me. And whether it's, whatever the topic is, it's blogging, if it's motivation, if it's business, whatever it is, I think that's the key is, like you said, not go in asking for something.
Sure, there's got to be some people that you tried to contact but didn't contact. So what didn't work, and why do you think it didn't work? And who would be people that you couldn't get a hold of and would be like, I don't really care what you're doing?
Well, there's actually there's quite a few people that it didn't work, and some of the reasons were, like we just talked about, was the first email I sent them was, hey, I'm writing this book, I'd really like you to be in it, and obviously that didn't go over very well, and it was the people that I had already built relationships with. I'm trying to think of some of the people that we might have talked to. I think there was like Yaro Starak. There were some marketers like the Frank Kern type, people like that, people who I hadn't really built a relationship with. And I think one of the reasons that I was able to connect with people like Brian Clark and I'm trying to think, Chris Brogan and Darren Rouse and Chris Garrett was because I met them face-to-face in Las Vegas for Blog World Expo. And so I was able to say, hey, this is Nathan Hengen. Remember that email that I sent you? I really appreciate your help with this book, or this is what we're doing with the book. If we hadn't done the interview yet, so it's kind of a reminder. But I think just doing that handshake and saying, hey, this is who I am.
That's how you say
really
hello.
Helped me out. And really for me, the key point is, and we talked about it a bit, but don't build relationships because you want something from the other person. To me, it's really about building relationships with people that you're going to talk with down the road. It's about people who you resonate with. And so I think that's the key is don't just build a relationship because it's an asset.
Exactly. I totally agree. And I believe all social media allows us to do is realize that, everyone in the world is pretty much the same, and those who are working to do more and inspiring to do better, the sum of your 5 friends, you are just the average of them. So I forget who said that quote, but I totally agree with it. And the more people that are doing good things that you can surround yourself with, the better off you're going to be. So thank you, Nathan, for taking your time out of your day. And he's the author of Beyond Blogging. You can head over to nathanhangen.com and check it out. And thank you, everyone.